Have you switched from white sugar to honey because you thought it was healthier? Or maybe you started using stevia in your morning coffee, or monk fruit in your favorite dessert, hoping you are making the best choice for your health. But here's the question. Are you actually choosing the right sweetener for your body and your health goals?
What if your healthy sweetener isn't actually the healthiest? Today, I'm ranking the 7 healthiest sugar alternatives.
The truth is, there isn't one sugar substitute that's perfect for everyone. Some sweeteners are excellent if you're living with diabetes or prediabetes because they have little to no effect on blood sugar. Others are better for baking because they behave more like regular sugar. And some contain natural compounds that may offer additional benefits, like antioxidants or prebiotic fiber. On the other hand, some products marketed as healthy may not be as beneficial as their labels suggest, and a few can even cause unwanted side effects if they're overused. So how do you know which one is right for you? In today's video, I'll rank 7 of the most popular sugar alternatives based on what they're actually best for, whether your goal is managing blood sugar, losing weight, baking healthier treats, supporting gut health, or simply making smarter everyday choices. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which sweeteners deserve a place in your kitchen, and which ones should only be used occasionally. But before we dive in, if you enjoy evidence-based health tips that are practical, easy to understand, and designed to help you live a healthier life, be sure to subscribe to Healthy You and click the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Now, let's get started. Let's begin with the category that matters most to millions of people, those trying to manage diabetes, prediabetes, or simply lose excess weight. If that's your goal, the biggest question isn't just, is this sweet? It's, what will this do to my blood sugar? The good news is that several sweeteners can satisfy your sweet tooth without causing the same sharp rise in blood glucose as regular table sugar. Let's take a closer look at the 3 options that stand out the most. Coming in at number 1 is stevia, one of the most widely used natural sweeteners for people who want to reduce sugar without giving up sweetness. Stevia comes from the leaves of the Stevia rebaudiana plant, which is native to South America. Although the leaves themselves have been used for centuries, today's commercial stevia products are typically made from highly purified compounds called stevioglycosides. These are the naturally sweet components extracted from the plant. One of stevia's biggest advantages is that it contains virtually no calories, and for most people, doesn't cause the same rise in blood sugar levels as regular table sugar. That's why it's often recommended as an option for people living with diabetes or prediabetes, as well as those trying to reduce their calorie intake. Stevia is also incredibly versatile. You can add it to coffee, tea, smoothies, yogurt, or even homemade salad dressings. Some baking recipes also work well with stevia, although it doesn't provide the same bulk or browning that regular sugar does. Now, there is one thing to keep in mind. Some people notice a slight herbal or licorice-like aftertaste, especially with certain brands. If you've tried stevia before and didn't enjoy it, don't give up too quickly. Different products are formulated differently, and many newer brands have improved the taste considerably. When shopping, take a moment to read the ingredient label. The best choices are products that contain high-purity stevia extract with as few added ingredients as possible. Some blends include fillers or added sugars, which may reduce the benefits you're looking for. If your primary goal is better blood sugar control or cutting back on calories, stevia remains one of the strongest options available, and that's why it earns our number 1 spot in this category. Our second pick is monk fruit extract, a natural sweetener that's become increasingly popular over the past several years, and for good reason. Monk fruit, also known as luo han guo, is a small green fruit that has been grown in southern China for centuries. What makes it remarkable is that its sweetness doesn't come from natural sugars like glucose or fructose. Instead, it comes from unique antioxidant compounds called moghrosides, which are naturally much sweeter than table sugar. Because of this, pure monk fruit extract contains virtually no calories and has little to no effect on blood sugar levels for most people. That makes it another excellent option for people with diabetes, prediabetes, or anyone trying to reduce their sugar intake without sacrificing sweetness. Many people also appreciate monk fruit because its flavor is often described as being closer to regular sugar than some other sweeteners. While taste is personal, some find that it has less of the herbal aftertaste that can occur with stevia. Monk fruit works well in coffee, tea, smoothies, oatmeal, and many homemade desserts. However, if you're shopping for it, don't let the front of the package fool you. Many products labeled monk fruit are actually blends that contain erythritol, dextrose, or other sweeteners. If you want the greatest benefit, check the ingredient list and choose products with as few added ingredients as possible. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried monk fruit sweetener? If you have, tell us in the comments what you used it in. And did you like the taste better than stevia or not? Your experience could help someone else who's trying to decide which sweetener to try first. And if you're still wondering which sugar alternative comes closest to tasting and baking like real sugar, don't go anywhere, because our next pick might surprise you. Our third recommendation is allulose, and if you've never heard of it before, you're not alone. Even though it's relatively new to many grocery store shelves, allulose has been gaining attention among health professionals, home bakers, and people looking for a sugar substitute that behaves much more like the real thing. Allulose is what's known as a rare sugar. It occurs naturally in small amounts in foods such as figs, raisins, wheat, and maple syrup, although the allulose used in food products is typically produced through a carefully controlled manufacturing process. What makes allulose so interesting is that it provides the sweet taste and texture of sugar, but with far fewer calories. Even more importantly for many people, research suggests that it has very little effect on blood sugar or insulin levels when consumed in typical amounts. That makes it a promising option for people with diabetes or anyone trying to cut back on added sugar. Another reason allulose stands out is its performance in the kitchen. Unlike many zero-calorie sweeteners, it browns, caramelizes, and adds moisture, much like regular sugar. If you enjoy baking cookies, cakes, muffins, or other homemade treats, allulose may give you results that are closer to traditional recipes than some other sugar substitutes. However, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Allulose is often more expensive than common sweeteners, and depending on where you live, it may not be as easy to find in local supermarkets. Some people may also experience mild digestive discomfort if they consume large amounts at one time, so it's best to introduce it gradually. If baking is your passion, but you're also trying to reduce sugar, allulose is certainly one of the most promising options available today. So we've covered the top 3 choices for people focused on blood sugar control and weight management. But what if your priority isn't 0 calories? What if you prefer sweeteners that are natural, minimally processed, and can add flavor to your favorite recipes? That's exactly what we'll explore next. Now let's move on to natural sweeteners. One common misconception is that if something is natural, it must automatically be healthy. Unfortunately, that's not always true. However, some natural sweeteners do offer certain advantages over refined white sugar, especially when used in moderation. If you enjoy baking or prefer less processed ingredients, these next 3 options are worth considering. Our first natural sweetener is pure maple syrup, and I want to emphasize the word pure. I'm not talking about the artificially flavored pancake syrups that are loaded with high fructose corn syrup or refined sugars. I'm referring to 100% pure maple syrup, which is made by concentrating the sap of maple trees. Besides its rich, distinctive flavor, pure maple syrup contains naturally occurring antioxidants, including compounds called polyphenols, which help protect your body's cells from damage caused by unstable molecules known as free radicals. It also provides small amounts of minerals like manganese and zinc, although not in large enough quantities to serve as a major source of these nutrients. Another advantage is that maple syrup is less processed than refined white sugar, making it a popular choice for people who prefer more natural ingredients in their cooking and baking. It works especially well in oatmeal, yogurt, homemade sauces, baked goods, and of course, pancakes and waffles. However, it's important to keep one thing in perspective. Pure maple syrup is still a form of added sugar. It contains calories and carbohydrates, and eating too much can still raise your blood sugar and contribute to excess calorie intake. So, while maple syrup may be a better choice than highly refined sweeteners for some recipes, it's best viewed as a healthier alternative, not a health food. A small drizzle can add wonderful flavor, but moderation is still the key to making it part of a healthy diet. Next on our list is raw honey, a sweetener that has been valued for centuries in many cultures, not just for its taste, but also for its naturally occurring plant compounds. Unlike highly processed honey, raw honey is minimally filtered and typically not heated to high temperatures. Because of this, it retains more of its naturally occurring antioxidants, along with small amounts of enzymes, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. While these nutrients are present only in modest amounts, they do give raw honey a nutritional edge over refined white sugar, which provides calories but very little else. Raw honey is incredibly versatile. It can add natural sweetness to tea, plain yogurt, oatmeal, smoothies, homemade salad dressings, or marinades. Many people also enjoy its rich flavor in baking, although heating honey during cooking may reduce some of its naturally occurring enzymes. But here's an important myth to clear up. Just because honey is natural doesn't mean it's sugar-free. Honey is still made up primarily of natural sugars, and it can raise your blood sugar levels, especially if consumed in large amounts. So if you have diabetes or prediabetes, it's still important to enjoy honey in moderation and include it as part of your overall carbohydrate intake. Think of raw honey as a more nutritious alternative to refined sugar, not a free pass to use unlimited amounts. A small spoonful can certainly add wonderful flavor and a few beneficial compounds, but portion size still matters if you're trying to protect your blood sugar and maintain a healthy weight. Our final natural sweetener is one that many people have never heard of: Yacon syrup. While it may not be as common as honey or maple syrup, it's gaining attention because of its unique nutritional profile. Yacon syrup is made from the root of the yacon plant, which is native to the Andes Mountains in South America. Unlike most sweeteners, a significant portion of its sweetness comes from fructooligosaccharides, or FOS. These are a type of prebiotic fiber, meaning they aren't fully digested in the small intestine. Instead, they travel to the large intestine, where they help nourish beneficial gut bacteria. A healthy gut microbiome plays an important role in digestion and may also support overall health. Because much of the FOS isn't absorbed as sugar, Yacon syrup generally has a lower glycemic impact than many traditional sweeteners, making it an interesting option for people who are looking for alternatives to refined sugar. However, it still contains some digestible sugars, so it shouldn't be considered a sugar-free product. Yacon syrup has a rich, caramel-like flavor that pairs well with oatmeal, plain yogurt, smoothies, or homemade energy bites. However, it's not ideal for high-temperature baking, as excessive heat can break down some of its beneficial prebiotic compounds. One more thing to keep in mind is that Yacon syrup can be more expensive and harder to find than other sweeteners. And because it's high in prebiotic fiber, consuming too much at once may cause bloating or gas in some people. Starting with a small amount is usually the best approach. If supporting your gut health is one of your goals, Yacon syrup is certainly one of the most unique sweeteners worth exploring. Our final sweetener deserves its own category because it offers a benefit that none of the others on today's list are particularly known for: supporting oral health. That sweetener is xylitol. Xylitol is a sugar alcohol that's naturally found in small amounts in fruits and vegetables, such as berries, plums, and cauliflower. Although it tastes remarkably similar to table sugar, it contains fewer calories and generally has a much smaller effect on blood sugar levels when consumed in moderate amounts. That's one reason it's become a popular ingredient in sugar-free products. But where xylitol really shines is in dental health. Unlike regular sugar, xylitol isn't easily used as food by the bacteria that cause cavities. Without that fuel, these bacteria produce less acid, which means there's less damage to your tooth enamel. That's why you'll often find xylitol in sugar-free chewing gum, mints, toothpaste, and mouthwash. In fact, chewing xylitol gum after meals may help stimulate saliva production, which can further protect your teeth by washing away food particles and neutralizing acids in the mouth. Now, although xylitol has some impressive benefits, there are a couple of very important precautions. First, if you consume large amounts, it can cause digestive side effects, such as bloating, gas, or diarrhea. That's because sugar alcohols aren't completely absorbed by the digestive system. If you've never used xylitol before, it's a good idea to start with a small amount and see how your body responds. Second, and this warning cannot be overstated, xylitol is extremely toxic to dogs. Even a small amount can trigger a rapid release of insulin in a dog, leading to a dangerous drop in blood sugar. In some cases, it can also cause severe liver damage. If you have a dog at home, always keep products containing xylitol securely out of reach, and never share sugar-free gum, candy, or baked goods with your pet. So, where does xylitol fit into a healthy lifestyle? If your goal is to reduce sugar while also supporting your dental health, xylitol can be an excellent choice, especially in oral care products and sugar-free gum. Just remember to use it in moderation. Pay attention to how your digestive system tolerates it, and always store it safely if you have pets. Now that we've covered all 7 sweeteners, let's bring everything together with a simple guide to help you choose the one that best fits your health goals. So, after looking at all 7 sweeteners, you may be wondering which one is actually the best. The answer is simple. It depends on your health goals. There isn't one sweetener that's perfect for everyone, so let's make this as practical as possible. If you're living with diabetes or pre-diabetes, or you're trying to keep your blood sugar as stable as possible, your best options are stevia, monk fruit extract, and allulose. These sweeteners have little to no impact on blood glucose for most people and can help you reduce added sugar without giving up sweetness. If your goal is weight loss, those same 3 sweeteners are also excellent choices because they're very low in calories or virtually calorie-free. Just remember that replacing sugar alone isn't enough. A balanced diet and regular physical activity are still the foundation of healthy weight management. If you love to bake, allulose is probably your best bet because it behaves much more like regular sugar. And if you're looking for a natural ingredient with a rich flavor, pure maple syrup can also work well in many recipes. Just be mindful of the portion size. If you prefer minimally processed natural sweeteners, raw honey and 100% pure maple syrup can be good alternatives to refined white sugar. They contain naturally occurring plant compounds and trace nutrients, but they should still be used sparingly because they're sources of added sugar. If supporting your gut health is your priority, Yacon Syrup is certainly worth considering because of its prebiotic fiber, which helps nourish beneficial bacteria in the digestive system. And if protecting your teeth is high on your list, Xylitol stands out for its well-established dental benefits, especially in sugar-free gum and oral care products. At the end of the day, remember this important point. The healthiest sweetener is often the one you need the least. Choosing a better alternative is a great first step, but gradually reducing your overall preference for sweetness may have the biggest long-term benefit for your health. I hope today's ranking has helped you see that choosing a sugar alternative isn't about finding one perfect sweetener. It's about finding the one that best fits your health goals and using it wisely. Whether you choose stevia for better blood sugar control, monk fruit for its natural sweetness, allulose for baking, or honey and maple syrup for their flavor and natural compounds, remember that moderation is still the key. Even healthier sweeteners shouldn't become an excuse to consume more sugar overall. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Healthy You, and click the notification bell so you never miss our weekly health tips. I'd also love to hear from you. Which sweetener do you use most often? And has it worked well for you? Share your experience in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next Healthy You video.